Hi guys, so we're going to be trying something new. We're going to be doing a screencastify with the roots so I can kind of talk you through the definitions, give you some ideas about context and how you would use the words and things like that. That way you can follow along as you're copying them down. And again, I know some of you don't have your notebooks, so just on a piece of paper somewhere, or just watch and listen. And you can go back and study them from here or make a Quizlet for flashcards, which we'll talk about later this week. So this is roots week 17 and 18, which means we're on our ninth set of roots. So the first root that you have is gyn, G-Y-N, which means female or woman. And the two words I gave you are misogyny and androgynous. Misogyny, which we've had before, means dislike of women. Remember when we had misanthrope? So mis, again, that root or the prefix, sorry, that means to hate or to dislike. In this case, misogyny is dislike of women. People are described as misogynistic if they mistreat women in some way or think that women are less than them. This is often directed toward males, but that doesn't mean that other women can't be misogynistic too. And then your second word is androgynous, which is an adjective that means both male and female in appearance. Interestingly enough, andro means male, and that's why androids are called androids, is because they're using sort of the generic term man, as in like mankind, to talk about human-like beings like androids. So androgynous literally means male and female in appearance. You might hear this word used to describe somebody who isn't super feminine or super masculine. They sort of just dress kind of like in between or act kind of in between, and they're referred to as androgynous. Your next root is sept, which means to take or to receive. And there are lots of words that fit this, of course, like concept, but I chose accept and inception. So accept, not accept with an EX, but accept with an AC, is a verb, and it means to consent or to receive something. So if you accept a package, you're consenting to receive it. If you accept a verdict, if you're like a lawyer or something like that, then you're consenting to receive it and you take whatever's being given to you. And then inception, some of you might be familiar with the film. I have never seen it, but the word means the beginning of something, which might make sense if you've seen the movie. Again, I haven't, so I don't know how that applies, but the inception of something is the very beginning. And it just basically means to be like taken into something. So we're all sort of pulled into the inception, for example, of remote learning this week as we start that. So inception, meaning the beginning of something. Your next root is term, which means end or final or boundary. And if you think about like a terminal in an airport or the adjective terminal, which refers sometimes to diseases, then you get the idea of kind of why it means like end or final or boundary. When we talk about like terms in school and things like that, they're referred to that because usually it's sort of like the final thing that you do to wrap up a term. So I gave you terminate and exterminate, two words that seem very similar. And they do kind of mean similar things, but terminate just means to bring to an end. So you could terminate a friendship, you could terminate a meeting, you could terminate like a FaceTime call. It's just a fancy way to say that if you're ending something. But exterminate means to destroy completely. Now, we usually talk about exterminating bugs, right? And we want them destroyed completely. If you've got termites or roaches or something in your house, you want to exterminate them. But exterminate can refer to, if you're watching like a sci-fi movie and they completely destroy a planet, that planet has been exterminated. Again, we think of it with bugs, you don't hear it used that often, but that is literally what it means, to destroy completely. Ex means sort of out of, and so if you exterminate something, then you have ended all of it. It's gone. Next is viv or vivo, which means live or life. And I gave you vivacious, which is an adjective that means full of life. If you describe somebody as vivacious, they're very outgoing. They might be described as bubbly. They like to talk. They make friends easily. They're definitely the life of the party, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what you get with viv or vivo for live or life. And then revive means to bring back to life. So if you, sorry, didn't mean to switch the screen there. If you are reviving something like, if your goldfish flops out of the water and is laying on the counter and you put it back in the water, then you'll see that